WBGO 88.3 FM, WBGO.org. And we're on your mobile devices. You know, one of the song titles that I call out just about every single day is that the creator has a master plan, right? And that's because when you think you've got something planned or you think you've got something together, he comes along and just kind of surprises you sometimes. So imagine the shock when I found out I had the opportunity to interview someone who is truly a part of, we talk about the soundtrack to your life. Well, this gentleman definitely holds a few chapters when it comes to my life and growing up and just feeling good, which is another thing that I talk about with you all every single night on Lights Out. My name is Nicole Sweeney, but with me right now, I need y'all to give it up for the legendary comedian, actor, singer, y'all, Tommy Davidson. That's right, I said it. Tommy Davidson is in the house with me, okay? How you doing, Tommy? What's going on?
I'm doing really good. This is a good time for, I think, everybody, really. I see it that way. I really do.
Oh my goodness. I'm going to take you back if you don't mind, because, when I think about, my introduction to you, of course, it's all about laughter and feeling good. But boy, when I sit down with my girlfriends and we think back in the days, I think In Living Color just comes up no matter what. And it even comes up when you're not even thinking about it. The one-liners, just all the classic moments that come from that legendary show. I mean, that show definitely belongs in the history books. What do you think?
I think it does. But it already is. It seems like when the big magazines or when the white media, they talk about shows of the 90s, they always leave us out. They talk about Friends and Beverly Hills 102. They talk about anything but us, but they don't have to.
That's right.
Because our show was so powerful. We don't need a magazine to advertise how good it was.
That's right. And Living Color was out before Twitter. So you had to actually call your friends. And when you saw them at school or you saw people at work, you talked about the skits. Remember that, y'all, before Twitter? Oh man. Did you have a favorite person to play? Is that a loaded question?
No, it's not. I think my favorite character, but I say played so many, so it's hard to choose, but Sweet Tooth Jones, the karate teacher, that was my favorite, boy. Yeah, correcting your body, sugar bear, lottie dottie. He was just from the old soul days, man. He was the real brother,
Right. Now, I mean, when it comes to In Living Color, of course, we think about comedy, but you can't forget the music. That was always a part of In Living Color. The music aspect, the fly girls dancing, the live performances. So music and comedies just seems to always have been surrounding you.
Oh yeah. When it comes to In Living Color, I got a call from Kid Capri one night.
What?
He was just saying hi, and stuff. He said, "Tom, I want you to know something. I was thinking about it. You are hip hop. Look at the show you did. Right. Look at the things that you've done. Look at the era. Look at Strictly Business.
Right, that's right.
Look at the Strictly Business soundtrack. Look at Booty Call. Look at the stuff you did." He said, "Not only are you an actor, comedian, and a television star in that genre, but you're hip hop."
That's right.
And I grew up in New York City, and I grew up in DC, and him telling me that, it goes a long way, because I don't do hip hop don't mean I ain't from hip hop culture.
That's right. And that's the word.
I don't do that in my
culture. That's what hip hop is. It's more than a genre. It's absolutely a culture.
It's a culture.
And Kid Capri, being from back in the days, he's one of those that, when he says that means a lot, because Kid Capri is from back when folks used to, when DJs broke a record, okay, you really paid attention. Right. And he was one of those DJs.
Right. But check this out, though. He was a little kid in, let's say, 78, 79, 77. So I was there when hip hop was just on cassettes.
Wow. And
going to see those groups live up in the Bronx and in Brooklyn.
Right. Wow.
Seeing them myself. You know what I mean? Taking the train through Harlem up to Mount Vernon. Seeing all call them old heads now, but they were hip hop. Spoonie G, Curtis Blow,
That's right.
Funky 4 plus one more. You know, to us, the Sugar Hill Gang was like corny. You know what I mean? Because
Commercial.
we already experienced the real stuff from the streets of New York.
Right. Right. Wow. So okay, so I'm gonna ask this question: where did hip hop start, Bronx or Queensbridge? Which one you calling out?
Bronx, the Bronx.
All right. All right.
The Bronx. It's you can't even contest it.
That's right.
You know, and people who are from the other boroughs, they even know it. They know it.
You know how New Yorkers are. New Yorkers are too proud. Even when we know something, we're not gonna maybe say it.
Oh, exactly. Like the Knicks are gonna win the championship every year. Okay.
Diehard Knick fans.
Yeah.
Now, you know, and you know, to just keep into the you know, when I have to think about you and some of my favorite moments of you. And speaking of DC, I was talking to a friend about possibly being able to talk to you. And of course, we dove right into our Martin moment. And it was interesting to hear that y'all actually like were neighbors at one point in time.
Oh man, me and Martin moved to LA a few months apart. Martin had got a job as a comedian on the new TV show What's Happening Now, from the old What's Happening.
Wow.
And I was killing in the club. I was killing in the clubs here in DC. And I had won the Apollo. You know, I was rolling back then, but there was no national name to neither one of us, you know. So I ended up going to LA in my manager's Nissan Sentra. So when we got out there, I got an apartment. Me and him got to talking. You know, we had met in DC. So he asked me, where do you live? And I said, here. And he said, that's nice, man. So he moved in. He moved in the same building upstairs.
Wow.
You know?
Wow. Now, did you ever do Def Comedy? Did you ever do Def Comedy Jam?
I did not. I did not do Def Comedy Jam because they wanted me to be just a comedian on there, and I wanted to host it like everybody else.
Oh.
At the time, I'm not just a comedian. You know, a lot of people got their breaks on there. Chris Tucker, you know, all of them got their breaks on there.
Yeah, man. Bernie.
But I was already a film star and a movie star and a television star, and had three specials under my belt.
Wow.
You know, so if Martin can host it, then I want to host it. Or if DL can host it, you know what I mean?
Right.
I wanted to be present on it because I have my own comedy stuff. So why would I need 4 minutes or whatever?
That's right. That's right. Now, it's interesting. We talked about In Living Color. It's funny. I'm looking at my notes. Strictly Business. I wrote that down. Booty Call. I wrote that down too. But, you know, I have a 4.5-year-old. So I had to write down The Proud Family.
Oh, good for you. Now
especially because, you know, as the mother of a brown little girl, it's important that she sees representation of herself on TV. And so that's one of her shows. So talk to me about that, because I mean, voiceover work is acting as well. You have to become that character, and then when it comes to kids, Tommy, they love their characters. They become attached.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm a part of it from when I was a kid.
Right.
You know, I grew up with cartoons. They didn't come on at night, so you know, we had to wait till Saturday morning. Or wait till the Christmas holiday to see, you know, the Charlie Brown Christmas or the Great Pumpkin, something like that, you know. But it became a part of me. I started doing voiceovers as early as Ren and Stimpy and The Simpsons when they first came on. So I've been doing animation voices since probably about 90, you know, 98. I mean, 79. I mean, I'm 89. Like it's as far back as that. So we got Proud Family. I came on board. It was a great cartoon as it was, but they needed Papa, so they gave me a picture. You know, see if I can find that. Hold on, I'm gonna take you on a little venture here.
Yes, take me. Let's do it.
Yeah, take you on a little venture in the crib, right? So they gave me this picture, right?
Wow.
And they were like, what does he sound like to you? And the way he sounded to me was, hey, where are y'all going? Look, if you're going to do some homework, you got to stay home. And I don't know what you got on, but you got to take it off. now. You see?
You know, you somebody's daddy, somebody's uncle. That felt so familiar, even to me.
Like I said, I'm all ahead of the curve. The world's changing.
Right. Right. Now, have you felt like you've had to change much of what you do because of the world changing? I feel like you didn't. I feel like you were pretty, I don't know. I feel like I could watch something with Tommy Davidson with my 4-year-old or my grandmother. I don't know if that's changed for you. I feel like that's always been Tommy Davidson, someone for everybody.
Yeah.
You've got something for everybody.
That's not going to change.
Yeah.
You know, I went through the last probably 10, 15 years, you know, having people telling me change, you know, and I said, I like my comedy. I like my comedy. My comedy don't offend nobody. You know, I make everybody feel good at the end of the day. You know, I'm the result of my comedy makes you actually laugh. Like, wow. It doesn't make you go, ooh, you know what I mean? And so all the ooh comedy looks like it kind of got oohed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. The comedy you have to think about, is it okay to laugh before I laugh? That's almost not really comedy in a sense, right?
Well, comedy is comedy, and there is that type of comedy, but
Sure.
you know, it just seems like in where we are since the Trump administration came in, it's been a mob mentality. A mob-like mentality, and mobs ain't never ain't never helped nobody.
Right, right.
If a group of people feel like they're being treated unfair, then the answer to the question is you treat them fairly. You don't then punish the people that treated you unfair. Right. You see what I'm saying? It's all opinion though. Right. But you interviewing me, so.
That's right. Well, that's why we do these interviews too. I mean, look, you talking to a jazz host. We want some realness. We don't like the fluff. So
that's where I am now.
That's
where I am now.
That's why we're talking. And we can't forget to tell the people that you're coming. He's coming to New Jersey, y'all. New Brunswick, the Stress Factory, which sounds like the perfect place to let all of the stress go.
Yeah, come on.
Okay.
We do very well. We did it during the pandemic. They built a whole tent.
Wow.
You know, that part of Jersey, there's a lot of people that live over there.
That's right.
That ain't Newark.
That's New Brunswick.
It's a whole nother Jersey. Yeah, it's a whole nother Jersey.
Yeah.
So, you know, come out, and I'm very happy about the jazz career.
Yes. You know, come on now. You know, I'm talking about that because I said, wait a minute, what you doing music with Dave Koz? I mean, it takes a while for people to get with Dave Koz. I don't think I've even gotten to Dave, and I play his music. So you got to talk to me about that, because then, you know, when I think about you in Living Color, right? Of course, we think about Shaboing Boy. You know, we think about Sammy Davis.
Right. You think about Michael Jackson.
Come on now.
Black or white, you tell me we don't know. You know, it just goes on and on. Hammer, you know, It just goes on and on. Spike Lee.
Varnell Hill Show.
Joy. What? Come here. Varnell Hill. Who can take the children? Bounce on it. Yeah. Bounce on the knee. Let's sing a melody. Varnell man can't. Did you miss me?
Look.
It keeps going.
So you've always kind of thrown some singing and music, but I mean, you can tell when someone's kind of playing, you can catch that realness that, wait a minute, he got a little voice on him. And what made you say, I'm going to take this part of my passion and really dive into it? It's like a new chapter for you, almost somewhat new.
Yeah. Well, it was time for this chapter. You know, I did a 20-year plan. Okay. When I got to Hollywood. And I'm in the 20th year of that plan, you know. Well, actually, I'm in 36 years of that plan. But what I wanted to do in this time period was I wanted to author a book. One, you know, once I established myself as a film star, established myself as a TV star, the next step was directing, producing, authoring, and getting into my music. if you don't think that you can write something down and work towards it and it happened, then let me tell you, the key ingredient to making that work is actually allowing God, allowing him to use the faith he gave you. Use it.
Gotta trust. That word it's a big word.
Yeah. Everybody want to have it, but don't want to put it through the test.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so the test is, because I don't think the universe would test us. It's just like, if you ever looked at the sidewalk and seen a blade of grass growing in between the crack.
Mm.
Like the cement cracked and here it comes. Right? Let that be the evidence, not what I say.
Mm. The creator has a master plan. He certainly does. If you believe, you will see it that way. If not, you'll just be like, oh, that doesn't mean anything. But indeed it does. Now, how is it working with Dave Cobb?
Yeah, and even if it does, it doesn't change it. That grass ain't through there. Use the evidence. That's all. Now go ahead. You say about Dave Cobb. I'm sorry. I'm just talking. Go ahead.
Oh no, look, this is the Zoom life, so I'm used to it. I was saying, how was it working with Dave Cobb, and how did that collaboration even come together?
Well, we had come in contact with each other on the Dave Cobb cruise, and I did the cruise. He saw that I was musically ready, obviously, because he told me, you need to record. You need to start recording. You need to be an artist. And so I pursued that for about 2 years, putting together musicians, putting together, producers, working on my sound. And eventually I got a track that I wanted to record. That was my first single. So I called him. It's called Sweet Reunion, the first one. So I called him and I said, hey, Dave, I got everything ready. I want to send you the track. Would you like to do this? And he listened to it. He called back. He said, absolutely. He said, it's a killing track. Couldn't happen to a better person. Let's do it.
Nice.
And I also got to take 6 backgrounds, because to tell you the truth, I've been preparing for this moment since I was 6 years old.
Wow.
Grown men used to come. I just talked to one the other day. Grown men used to come and knock on my mother's door and say, can he come and sing with our band? Grown bands.
Wow.
But in the meantime, in between time, why jazz? Because like other musics, I've been nurtured by a lot of musics. I can do any genre. But the genre that helped me grow the most was smooth jazz.
Nice. Because
I can think with it. I can live with it. I can study with it. I can contemplate with it. I can meditate with it. I can basically live with it. It actually, I can think with it. So the Yellow Jackets, Brenda Russell, Michael McDonald, Dave Grusin, George Howard, Gerald Albright, Keiko Matsui. I mean, I could just, those are in my DNA.
And they're amazing musicians. Absolutely. We'll go on Pat Metheny.
Yeah. I mean, just like it became a part of me. Nelson Ringel, Richard Elliott, Earl Klugh, George Benson. It all just started making sense to me,
Now, see, Tommy, it sounds like you listened to my show, because I think about 98% of those names that you named is what, and even specifically I play on my evening show, because it just really sets the mood. And like you said, it's just, it stays with you, and there's inspiration in the instruments and in the song. And there's a place for it for everybody. And that's one of the greatest things about this genre of music, is that there is a place for every single person to really dive in.
Right. And it fits me as a person, because, even though I'm African American, I'm a global citizen, you know. Thank God for the slave trade, because I'm everywhere. I'm in Spain, I'm in Paris, I'm in all the Islamic countries. I'm everywhere. So I am global. You can't cancel me. You can't do a cancel culture on me, because you can't do a cancel culture on Blacks, because we are culture.
That's right.
We're American culture. So it fits me to be able to travel where I want in other languages and play this music.
Yeah.
I was in the other countries anyway, doing comedy for the military or for just private shows, going around the world for the last 27 years solid. Wow. Easily. So it fits me too.
Of course.
But it's not like, the difficult part about it is, since I've been a pop star for so long, this is a slower process. Mm-hmm. I do a TV show, everybody's calling me, say I saw it. I do a movie, everybody can call me right then and there, that day. I saw it. Right. With smooth jazz, it's another type of genre. Yeah. People that know me from other things might not necessarily hear it, because that's the way that industry is. With America, with pop radio, American radio, hip hop, whatever, what happens is you make a song and the public goes, I'm next. I'm next. I'm next. What's new? What's new? That's so true. With this, you put it in like a seed, it grows. You can pick fruit off of it. You can wait till the next season. It's not, immediate consumption and then next, because it fills you up.
That's right. That's right. And so much so, for me, it leaves something for the next time that you consume it, right? So you have something new to pick on the next time that you didn't even maybe hear the last time. So now it's a new experience every time you listen. That's one of the most special things about the music that I am so fortunate, seriously blessed and honored to be able to play, because even I get to dive into it as someone behind the microphone. I'm a listener and a lover of the music too. So this is so cool to see you embrace this. And I got to tell you something, it's interesting that comedy and music would be the two avenues, because they both seriously serve quite the similar purpose. I mean, how many times has laughter saved your life? Come on, y'all.
That's right. That's right.
And how many times did that song that Ella sang, or that note that Coltrane played, how many times did it just change your life?
Right.
So that's no accident. That's the creator's plan, right?
Exactly. So I had to be honest with myself and genuine with myself to do the music that I love. I love all music. Don't get me wrong. But the music that I listen to personally when I'm washing my car, or just doing some homework with a kid, one of my kids, or whatever it is, it's what I listen to. It's what I live to. Right. Live to. I'm going to say that. It's what I live.
What I listen to and what I live to. And I know this audience agrees with that. So New Brunswick, y'all, even if you're in the surrounding areas, Tommy's coming into town tomorrow. He'll be here till Saturday at the Stress Factory. That's going to be in New Brunswick. We're going to be giving you guys a sample too of the new single is I Know. Am I correct?
Oh, yeah. The new singles, which I'm very proud of. I have a lot of two good producers, but most importantly, I produced this and I arranged it. Wow. Helped arrange. So this is the first one that I produced. And I wanted to make a contribution to smooth jazz. I wanted to bring me into it. I wanted to bring my sound to it. So if you listen to that, that's one of the many sounds I have. You listen to Sweet Reunion, it's a different type of sound. You listen to this one, it's a different type of sound. So I'm going to bring versatility as an artist to it. Absolutely. Not that that's not out there, but that's what I'm bringing to it.
Well, it's you. So it's special and it's necessary. Absolutely. So I'm so excited and glad to be talking to you. I can't wait to get the audience this this new music. I can't believe I'm going to be playing music from Tommy Davidson, y'all. That is just the coolest thing to know that this music has always been within you.
Thank you. I've only heard one DJ spin it, and that was a recording of it. Because unfortunately, the smooth jazz stations aren't as popular as pop stations.
Right.
So I finally heard a DJ say, and now the new single from Tommy Davidson. That's right, Tommy Davidson. I know.
All right. Well, you're going to add us to the list. Don't worry about that, because one of the great things about WBGO is, there are not that many jazz stations, but we've been holding it down, Tommy, for like 42 years. And we have some of the most dedicated people global. I mean, our listeners are all over, and they are dedicated to this music as you are. So you can call us another home for your music as well.
Yeah. Thank you for turning me on to them.
Of course.
To your listeners.
Of course. And thank you for taking this time to chat with little old me. I am so, this is definitely one from my resume. And just thank you for all that you've done, all the laughter that you brought and continue to bring. I mean, I was able to talk with a friend, and we were just in stitches. I mean, our stomachs were hurting talking about you and the characters, and we're going back and forth and talking about the catfish are delicious. And I mean, not just anybody can do that, Tommy. You know what I'm saying? Not just anybody can drum up those kind of memories. And I think that was off the cuff. I don't think you and Martin planned that at all.
I can tell you he didn't. Because when I got on the set, he was cussing everybody out and going crazy on people. And I was like, what are you doing? He's like, man, you don't know how it is to be, a producer on your own show and to be I said, but I got my own TV show. I understand. He said, you don't understand this. I said, okay. So what I did was, when I sat down with that scene, I said, I'm going to show him the style of TV I do. Now, I don't know nothing about that. Okay, cool. But watch this. I said nothing that was on the script, but it all matched up. So he couldn't really not answer. You know what I mean? He was saying what was scripted. I was saying so I can rip it.
Get out. That has to be one of the best moments in TV ever. I mean, how do you tell somebody, we don't have a pool. We got a lake out back.
Right.
Not scripted.
You got a car? What kind of car? Well, you know what? I don't drive. You don't drive, huh? No, I got a limo, man. I got a driver to take me. You know what I mean?
Wow.
It's just, and if he'd have kept going, I would have kept going.
Oh, man.
I would have kept going. But the most wonderful thing is we're still here.
Yes.
Me and him are still friends. Good. I'm close to his family, like always, Good. And we're working currently on a TV show. I'm not going to give it up to you, but all I say is, did you miss me?
Okay.
All I'm going to say.
I got to keep it together.
That's all I'm going to say. But because why all the late night hosts don't look like us?
What happened to that? Arsenio? I mean, those were moments too of music and icons and representation.
We made late night sexy. So all I'm going to say is, we're working on the show for late night. And all I'm going to say is, did you miss me?
I need tickets. Y'all heard it. Y'all might have heard it here first. That's all I'm going to say. Tommy, I got to thank you so much for your time and for everything. Thank you so, so much. I can't wait. If I can get me a babysitter, I'm going to come to New Brunswick, but you guys get out there, the Stress Factory. Take all that stress away. Let Tommy help you.
All right.
You don't want her there. She's going to take over the stage, Tommy. You don't want her to come.
I know.
Well, you get here safe, and you're going to hear from us at WBGO. Absolutely. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you, Tommy.
God bless you, girl.